Good morning, boys and girls. Hope you had a beautiful Easter weekend. So today we will be starting our test. I know usually we do our test just in one class, but we're going to divide it into 4 sections, okay? You know how we always have 2 readings with a few questions for each one. We have our vocabulary, and we always have what we learned throughout that lesson, which this lesson was prefixes. So today you are going to be focusing on that first reading. Okay, your parents was set this answer sheet. This is what you are going to be transferring your answers to. You could still write on your test if you would like to, but this is where I need the answers. This will be due tomorrow completed, okay? So your first part of your test today that your parents have received is the first reading, which is voting. You have about 2 pages to read. But what do we always do before we read our passage? We always read our questions. So if you want, take out your highlighter. And number 1, let's highlight the important part that we are looking for. If usual means common, what does unusual mean? Okay, so you have to think of the prefix of what un means. We already know what usual means. What does un mean? Part B, 1B. What is the meaning of the prefix un in unusual? So let's think. What does un? When we say untie, we're trying to say the opposite of tying, right? So you look at your answers and we go forward. Number 2, complete the chart by writing the main idea and the supporting details in the correct boxes. Use all of the sentences. So sometimes we have sentences that stay left over. This time you're using all 4 sentences, okay? Only one is going to be your main idea. Remember, your main idea is what you're mainly talking about, what you're mainly hearing in the story, okay? And then you have your supporting details. You have 3. You have 4 sentences, 1 main idea, 3 details. Number 3, what does the word recount mean? Okay, we are going to break that apart. We know that re is a prefix. Re plus count equals recount. Now, what does recount mean? Number 4, what is the author's point of view about voting? Now, remember, point of view is how the author feels about something, what their opinion is, what they feel, think, or believe about something, okay? So we're looking for what does the author think about voting? What do they feel? What do they believe? Based off of what we read, what do they feel, okay? Part B, we need to support what we think of how they feel. So part B says, which sentence from the article best supports your answer in part A? So you need to find what they're feeling, and then we support it from a sentence from the passage. And number 5, with which ideas would the author most likely agree? Pick 2. You must pick 2 choices out of A through F. Okay, please make sure that you pick 2 choices. On the answer sheet, it kind of reminds you, if you forget, you see number 5, how it has 2 lines? You're going to put your 2 answers there. Now for the answer sheet, you have a line for each question to put your letter. You have the boxes that you're going to write the main idea, the 3 details, the sentences. And then you have number 3 for A, for B. And then number 5 with your 2 answers, okay? So boys and girls, remember to think about how the author feels. While you're reading, think about what their opinion, what they feel, what they believe about voting, okay? Remember, always read your questions before you read the passage. Now, if you find your answer or something that supports one of your answers, you can always highlight or underline when you find it. Remember, it's always important to read your questions before you read the passage. All right, so this is part 1 of the test. I wish you the best of luck, and I miss you very much, and I love you. See you tomorrow.